The twerp who won't arrest violent cons says he's going to handcuff Ron. It's time for...
Okay, Mr. Tough Guy. Yeah!
I don't know what the horse was there for. I would have assumed the horse would have kicked him or something, but, you know, I guess it's too late now. California governor and walking oil slick, Gavin Newsom, doubling down against his warning to GOP presidential candidate Ron DeSantis for sending migrants to California. After all, just because Sacramento is a sanctuary city in a sanctuary state, that doesn't mean a Republican, should act like it. Earlier this week, Newsom tweeted to Ron, "You small, pathetic man, this isn't Martha's Vineyard. Kidnapping charges?" Well, this tough guy act is a real stretch for Gavin. He should just stick to destroying California. Plus, your name is Gavin. There's no Gavins here, right? Good. On top of that, it's also tough to strike fear when you look like you just escaped from a J. Crew catalog. But I wonder, is Ron just weakness masquerading as strength?
He's just weakness masquerading as strength. Yeah, he's flailing, desperate for attention. Here's a governor from the state of Florida that is using taxpayer money, and he had to go to another state to find people under false pretense. I don't think this, I know this. I talked to the migrants.
He's about as threatening as a hamster on NyQuil. Brian Kilmeade in a Jedi costume is more intimidating. Took forever to get that picture. Now DeSantis is headed to California for a fundraiser next week. Should he be worried law enforcement officials are going to arrest him when he walks off the plane?
Should he be worried that law enforcement officials in this state are going to arrest him when he walks off the plane?
Now we're getting into hyperbole. The bottom line is,
well, just
we're for accountability.
I mean, I don't think it's hyperbole. You're the one raising the issue of criminality, potentially.
Potentially. Yeah.
What a jackass! He is the guy who brings up the arrest, potential for arrest. The reporter goes, "Okay, so you're going to arrest him?" And he goes, "Hey, let's not get into some hyperbole here." He's just taking you at your word. I guess when Democrats call Republicans criminals for calling their bluff, they don't mean it literally. How could you be so unsophisticated? Meanwhile, on Wednesday, DeSantis defended sending migrants to California.
These sanctuary jurisdictions are part of the reason we have this problem, because they have endorsed and agitated for these types of open border policies. They have bragged that they are sanctuary jurisdictions. When they have to deal with some of the fruits of that, they all of a sudden become very, very upset about that. Well, what are these people having to deal with here? I don't see the sympathy for them.
Can't argue there, and Newsom should be happy to have new California residents. They lost over 200,000 residents between 2021 and 2022, and a lot of them moved to, you guessed it, Florida. No wonder Gavin's pissed. He's being dumped by someone new every single day, and they're all flocking to a younger, more successful dude. But don't worry about him. I'm sure he'll land on his hair. Charlie, it is pretty funny. Imagine boasting about your virtue, and then when somebody says, "Prove it," you say, "I'm arresting you."
Yeah, exactly. And I'm also now just interested to hear about these conversations that Gavin Newsom is having with the migrants.
Yes.
What are they talking about?
Exactly. How to trim his hedges.
Exactly. Well, this is exactly what Gavin Newsom asked for. He made California a sanctuary state. Ron DeSantis took the exact opposite stance. So I don't see what Newsom is whining about. The only good news I can say is that when these migrants get to California, see how dumpy it is now, they'll probably just leave on their own.
Exactly. And then they'll probably go to Florida, right? Probably, Lee. Lee, what do you, I keep always, it's prefacing everything. If you were a governor, what would you have done when these buses came?
Well, New York shouldn't be a sanctuary state. New York City shouldn't be a sanctuary city. They had a new law that was passed, fortunately overturned by the courts. They were going to give non-citizens the right to vote inside of New York City. And they're always looking for new ways to make this state and city even more of a sanctuary. I want to ask Gavin Newsom, why is it that so many of your residents are leaving for places like Florida? What are you doing that are making so many people leave? Why is it that you have such a big budget deficit, but places like Florida have such a big budget surplus? I want Gavin Newsom to answer that. And another hypocrisy test would be asking Gavin Newsom, what do you think about Eric Adams in New York City sending all of these migrants to all of these red counties? If you're going to sit there on your high horse, tell us that you share the same view that Eric Adams is wrong for doing that. I mean, we have an issue. And this whole red state versus blue state, red city versus blue city, what really needs to have happen is that this governor, this Democratic governor, is calling the Democratic president and saying, we as Americans have this issue and we need you to lead to secure our southern border, and here's how. But they don't want to do it. They want money and they want power. And Gavin Newsom wants the attention more than anybody. He would love to be sitting in the White House.
Yeah, I think what he's doing is he's trying to raise his own profile by going after DeSantis. And I use this analogy, Kat, that it's like when somebody goes on Twitter, right, and somebody that starts hammering at you, hoping you'll respond, and you go like, your brain's telling you don't punch down, but you do it anyway.
You do that more than I do.
Yeah, I do.
It's like not even close.
But it's true. It's like Gavin is acting like a Twitter troll.
Yeah, and even when he's like, what kind of person would do that? And because a politician,
Yeah.
Of course what Ron DeSantis is doing is a stunt, but that's kind of what a lot of politics is. He's trying to call the bluff of certain people and bring attention to this issue. And it's like, hey, buddy, Gavin, aren't you trying to bring attention to yourself also? And it's so clear that's what he's doing, that he actually, I think, assumed more people would realize that, because when he was asked, arrest them, he's like, don't be ridiculous.
Yes, exactly.
He's like, no, I'm not being serious when I talk.
Yes, I'm a politician.
It's politics. So for you to say,
I write
okay,
these
that's
lines.
a stunt to somebody else when you just plainly admitted that that was exactly what you were doing, that's got to be embarrassing. If you're the type of person who could get embarrassed, which I don't think he is.
Yeah, but he didn't, and he had no explanation for what these conversations he had with migrants. They signed consent forms. They were in a party bus. I never got you a party bus.
You've never got me anything. You know what he got me for? You know what he got me for Christmas? One of his Gutfeld branded Sharpies.
Yes.
It's worth a lot of
He
money.
got me 2 of them. He threw them at me from my office door.
Yes, I did.
gosh.
I did, and I didn't even get a thank you.
I didn't even get a pen, Greg.
Yeah. Well, we know what you do with it, Tom. That's why we're so disgusting. What are you talking about? He'd probably write with it. I want him to keep it as like a collectible, but he would use it. You know what the funny thing is? It's like Gavin can't see what DeSantis is telling him, that this is a national problem and we should be working together, not doing what you were saying, the red versus blue state. But Gavin is like going, I am sanctuary, but I'm not going to help. I'm not going to help you. I mean, it's bizarre.
Well, talk about a self-own, too. In that clip, he says, he didn't even have real illegal immigrants down there. He had to get them from another place. Like, this is how he's bragging? He's like, in California, we got tons of illegals.
Yeah, yes.
The border's wide open. We don't need to import our illegals. We're swimming in them. And also, so he accuses DeSantis of seeking attention, and yet he's the one who reacts every time DeSantis does something. He holds a press conference.
Yeah.
So he's going off of the heat that's coming off of DeSantis. I love what DeSantis did, and I love that it was Martha's Vineyard. I would go even further than DeSantis. I wouldn't just land them at the airport on Martha's Vineyard. I would helicopter them, and I would have them parachute onto Obama's property. I think then Obama would have to be nice to them, right?
Yeah.
If they were all there camping on his property, and you got to do it because I'm sure he has guards with guns, guarding his property. You got to airlift them. You got to do parachutes, right? So you send them out in the parachutes, and they're all over Obama's lawn, and then he's got to come out and give them cookies and milk and everything like that. I think it'd be great.
I like this idea.
Yeah, I do too. You're probably going to get a call after the show.
I know.
For a long, detailed interview and perhaps trip.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.